Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know how we do it here, folks.
Yeah, we get our hands dirty, digging through all kinds of sources.
That's right. And today we're going deep on someone who really caught my eye,
Oh, yeah.
Larissa Douglas. She's an author,
Author.
and I think you're going to find her fascinating. She's got this really interesting blend of ancient myths and environmental passion.
Yeah. So she's bringing the old wisdom into the modern world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she writes for kids and adults, which is pretty impressive if you ask me.
Yeah, that's not easy to pull off. What are we looking at for sources?
So we got her blog, The Dragonfly, her website, and a podcast submission form. She's not shy about laying it all out there.
Always good to hear that someone's got a clear vision.
Right. And her goals. I mean, she's shooting for the stars. Best-selling author, unique voice, reaching a wide audience. She's ambitious.
And it looks like she's got the drive to match it. Let's jump in. So what grabbed you first?
This phrase she uses, the mythic guide.
The Mythic Guide.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Me too. What do you make of it? Well, I think it speaks to her desire to be more than just an author. You know, she wants to guide readers through all the complexities of the modern world, but using that ancient wisdom as a map.
Yeah, like she's taking those old stories and making them relevant for today.
Exactly. And she's creating a whole new way of seeing things, not just telling stories, but shaping perspectives.
Now, that's a powerful thought. She also describes her vision as ethereal and grounded, which seems kind of paradoxical, right?
Yeah. How do you be both of those things at the same time?
But somehow it totally works.
hmm
What's the secret sauce?
I think it's about finding that balance. You know, imagine stepping into a modern temple.
Okay, I'm with you.
But instead of murals, you see digital interfaces projected onto those ancient stone tablets. Animated constellations telling age-old stories.
Yeah.
Holographic maps revealing hidden knowledge.
Whoa, that's a powerful image.
It's a fusion of the ancient and the futuristic, the mystical and the tangible. And that's exactly what Larissa is doing with her writing.
And then there's the fashion element. I have to admit, I'm a sucker for that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. What you got going on?
Minimalist but mystical Greek patterns, Celtic symbols. It's like a high-concept fashion editorial.
It sounds like a visual representation of her writing style, which she describes as slipstream and magical realism.
Right, blending those realistic settings with fantastical elements.
Exactly, blurring the lines between the real and the unreal.
She also uses this phrase, science meets dark matter.
Science meets dark matter. That's getting my brain going.
Mine too. What's the connection to her writing?
I think it's about exploring those unseen forces, the things that shape our reality but that we don't always see.
Like the dark matter of the universe.
Precisely. We know it's there, it has this huge impact, but we can't quite grasp it. And I think Larissa's writing does something similar. It delves into the power of myth and imagination in a world dominated by technology.
It's like she's saying there's more to the world than meets the eye, and we need to tap into that hidden dimension to truly understand ourselves.
Absolutely. And she's got some serious literary influences backing her up. Margaret Atwood, Jorge Luis Borges, C.S. Lewis.
Yeah, those are some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
What do they all have in common? And how do they influence her work?
They all challenge our perceptions of reality, connect the past to something bigger than ourselves, and use storytelling to explore those big questions about humanity.
And you can see those influences woven throughout Larissa's work. She's not afraid to tackle those big questions.
Right. And it's not just literary giants. She also dives into ghost stories, pulp fiction, even weird fiction.
Okay, so she's got a taste for the darker side of things.
It seems so. Authors like Robert E. Howard, Clark, Ashton Smith, M.R., James Shirley Jackson, they're all on her list.
That's a pretty eclectic mix. What do these darker influences bring to her writing?
They add a layer of mystery and the uncanny. You know those things that exist on the fringes of our awareness? It brings a depth and intrigue to her work.
And get this, she's not just a bookworm. She draws inspiration from filmmakers, too.
Filmmakers. Okay, tell me more.
Think David Lynch, Akira Kurosawa, Stanley Kubrick.
Wow. Those are some visually stunning directors.
Right. And they're all known for pushing boundaries, bending reality, creating worlds that are both beautiful and unsettling.
So it's not just about the words for Larissa. It's about creating a mood and atmosphere that draws you in and makes you question what you see.
Exactly. And one of her blog followers summed it up perfectly. You have the best blog on the internet. You are a lighthouse.
Wow, that's high praise.
It really speaks to the impact she's already having.
Absolutely. It sounds like she's creating a space where people can explore these complex ideas and find some guidance in a world that can feel pretty chaotic.
And we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more to uncover about Larissa. Her tech background, her diverse experiences, how she manages to juggle it all.
Yeah, she's a woman of many talents and a vision that's both ambitious and mysterious.
And I can't wait to dive deeper.
Mm.
So we've talked about Larissa's vision, her influences, but let's not forget about her tech background.
Yeah, that's right. 14 years writing about tech and culture. That's not just a hobby.
It's a serious commitment. And she's worked at tech startups too, even in Silicon Valley.
Wow, so she's been right in the heart of it all. That must give her a unique perspective.
Definitely. It's like she's got one foot in the ancient world of myths and the other in the cutting-edge world of tech.
And that circles back to that idea of science meets dark matter. You know, she's not just celebrating technology, she's also grappling with its potential downsides.
Right. The ways it can alienate us, create ethical dilemmas. It's heavy stuff.
It is. And I think that's what makes her writing so compelling. She's not afraid to ask those tough questions about what it means to be human in a technology-driven world.
And she's been open about the fact that people don't always get it right. Like this whole blend of ancient wisdom and modern tech.
Yeah, she mentions that people sometimes struggle to connect the dots between her diverse experiences.
Which is exactly why we're doing this deep dive, to help connect those dots for our listeners.
Exactly. And one thing that really stands out to me is her drive. She's juggling multiple projects, writing for different audiences, exploring different genres, building a brand.
Plus, she even mentioned wanting to renovate her home. It's like she's got this urge to create.
It does seem that way. Like she wants her surroundings to reflect her vision, to create a space where those ideas can flourish.
She's not afraid of hard work, that's for sure. And she's got big dreams. But she also acknowledges the challenges, right?
Yeah, she talks about wanting to be totally inspired and fearless, but also recognizing that it's not always easy.
Like finding that balance between pushing your creative boundaries and staying grounded.
Exactly. Between embracing the chaos and maintaining some sense of control. It's a struggle many creatives can relate to.
For sure. So how does someone like Larissa, with all these passions and experiences, want to present herself to the world? What's her ideal brand?
She uses this amazing phrase, MoMA meets Kubla Khan.
Whoa, MoMA meets Kublai Khan. I love that.
Me too! It's the perfect encapsulation of her work. The clean lines and modernity of MoMA juxtaposed with the fantastical imagery of Kubla Khan's palace.
It's like that blend of sophistication and whimsy that runs through everything she does.
And she gets even more specific about the visuals. She wants a vintage, exotic feel, a color palette that evokes historical adventure, like those classic films E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Those films have such a sense of wonder and adventure.
Exactly, and they transport you to another world, which is exactly what Larissa aims to do with her writing.
It's like she's tapping into that childlike sense of possibility, that anything is possible.
And it's not just about escapism. She also wants to be seen as the Oracle.
The Oracle. Now that's a powerful image. What do you think she means by that?
I think it speaks to her desire to help people understand themselves better, to reveal something deeper, something hidden beneath the surface.
Like she's offering guidance and insight.
Exactly, leading people towards a new way of seeing the world, a way that embraces both the ancient and the modern, the magical and the real.
It's ambitious, it's bold, it's exciting. And it makes me think that she's not just an author, she's a cultural cartographer.
That's a great way to put it. She's mapping out new territories of the imagination and inviting us to explore them with her.
So after all this digging into Larissa's world, it feels like she's creating a whole new mythology for the digital age.
And she actually says that explicitly, a new mythology for the turn of the millennium.
Wow. Now that's a statement that deserves its own deep dive. A new mythology for the turn of the millennium. That's a pretty big idea.
It is, and the exciting thing is we don't know exactly what that looks like yet.
Right. It's like she's given us these little glimpses, these hints. But the full picture is still coming into focus.
And I think that's part of the appeal. You know, it's not just a finished product, it's an ongoing conversation, an invitation to imagine alongside her.
I like that.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what role does she see herself playing in all of this? Is she the storyteller, the prophet, the architect of this new age?
That's a good question. I think she sees herself as a guide more than anything else.
The guide. Okay, I can see that.
Someone who helps us navigate these uncharted territories. You know, this new landscape of myths and meanings.
Like she's saying, hey, the old stories, the old ways of seeing things, they might not be enough anymore.
Exactly. We need new narratives, new myths that can speak to the complexities of our time.
And she's not afraid to challenge us, to push us beyond our comfort zones.
Not at all. She's asking us to really think, What if technology isn't the enemy of spirituality? What if we can find a way to weave them together?
To create a future where both can thrive. That's a powerful thought.
It is. And I think it speaks to a lot of the anxieties people are feeling right now about the future, about technology, about the loss of meaning.
Right, like everything's changing so fast, it's hard to keep up.
And Larissa's saying, don't be afraid. Let's explore this together. Let's find those new stories, those new myths that can guide us towards something more meaningful.
Something more fulfilling. I love that. So what does this all mean for our listeners? Why should they care about Larissa Douglas and this whole idea of a new mythology?
Because we're all living through this moment of profound change. And we need those new stories, those new ways of making sense of it all.
We need a roadmap.
Exactly. And Larissa's work is like an invitation to participate in that process, to imagine alongside her, to become co-creators of this new mythology for the 21st century.
To take ownership of our own stories.
Exactly. She's reminding us that we all have a role to play in shaping the future.
And that the stories we tell ourselves, the myths we embrace, they have the power to guide us.
Absolutely. So if you're feeling lost, if you're searching for meaning, if you're yearning for something more,
then Larissa Douglas might be just the guide you're looking for.
I think so. Explore her blog. Read her writing. Let your imagination run wild. You might be surprised by what you discover.
And who knows, maybe you'll even be inspired to create your own myths for the new millennium.
That's the beauty of it. There's no limit to what's possible.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of Larissa Douglas. But the conversation doesn't have to end here. What are your thoughts on her vision? What new myths do you think we need in this day and age? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Mystic waters ripple clear where Galadriel's mirror glows. Elven voices whisper near secrets that the ancient knows. In moonlit beams we silently dive through olden lands where dreams arrive. Numenor, the shining isle where legends walk the starry mile. Starlit ships on silver tide, sailing through the night so wide. In the cosmos, dark and deep, Galadriel's song will keep. Into space we float and